In other automotive news, automaker Stellantis announced today that it is offering voluntary buyouts to around 33,000 employees. They didn't say how many jobs they were looking to cut, but a local UAW unit said yesterday it was about 3,500.
The COO of Stellantis cited competition in the market and said the company needed to, quote, become more efficient. Well, tonight, the new leader of the UAW union is slamming the announcement, claiming the automaker that produces Jeeps and Chryslers has turned its back on its workers.
Joining us now to unpack this announcement is Paul Eisenstein, publisher and editor-in-chief of the DetroitBureau.com. Thanks for being here, Paul.
Good to be with you.
So there have been a lot of cuts recently. There were some buyouts with GM. Ford cut a bunch of jobs. Is this similar to what's happening in the tech world? Is this a new trend?
It's a bit different, and you have to remember we're going into auto talks in just a matter of months. So one has to question how much of politics is involved in this move. There's no question the industry is looking to trim back. EVs will require fewer people to produce them. But that said, the automakers hope to expand production. So it's hard to tell exactly why they're doing this now. Is it politics, or are they really needing to cut?
You mentioned the impact that's coming up with the bargaining negotiations. How much of an impact will you think that will make coming up in the summer?
Well, we're going to see some pretty hot heads at the table, I expect. Shawn Fain, the new head of the UAW, ran as a progressive. He has, well, what did he say just recently? He told his members, get ready to rumble. So he is setting out a stage in which he's going to be taking a very tough position. Stellantis could be a really big target for him. Remember, they're closing a plant in Illinois, the Belvidere plant, and now this. So it may be that both sides in Stellantis, the UAW and the company, are basically waving red flags at one another, saying, let's get to work. Let's really see who can win this battle.
So is Stellantis especially vulnerable? Do you see others following a similar trajectory?
Oh, I think it's going to be tough for all three of the automakers, because you do have this issue coming up. The automakers want to maintain profits. Stellantis earned, what, $18 billion last year? They want to be able to trim their workforces to get more efficient. They're all looking over their shoulders at Tesla, which is making a lot more money per vehicle. And one reason is they're more efficient. Efficiency generally translates into fewer workers. So the union knows that, and they want to put their flag in the ground saying, no more cuts.
There have been so many cuts in the auto industry, as Shana mentioned, and now you have Stellantis. What does this mean for Michiganders? What does this mean even in particular for people of Metro Detroit?
Well, one of the big concerns is a strike. And Shawn Fain has made it pretty clear that he would go to the wire, go to the mat if necessary. A strike would be bad news for this town, especially at a time when the economy is rough. At least we fear a possible recession. Sales are just recovering. We do have more outside competition. So this is going to be a very, very tough set of negotiations this year, and people should be a little bit concerned if the two sides can't find an amiable solution.
You mentioned EV production is more efficient, but right, as more EVs come online, as emissions requirements change in the years to come, we're expecting to see more EVs. Will that not balance out in the end? Don't you need more people to make more EVs?
The good news is that with the Inflation Reduction Act that we saw Congress pass last August, it basically requires manufacturers to be producing first their vehicles, secondly their batteries, and even sourcing raw materials here in the United States. We're seeing hundreds of billions of dollars going into the U.S. in new manufacturing and mining operations. That's good, but how many of those plants, how many of those operations will be in Michigan, and particularly the Detroit area, is uncertain. Here's one good sign. Ford Motor Company, which has been surprised by how many people have ordered its F-150 Lightning pickup, is increasing production and increasing staff at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center down in Dearborn.
There was so much of a backlog during the pandemic with cars unable to get off the lot. They just weren't able to produce them. So you would think they would need these employees to produce more cars that are more in demand right now.
Well, certainly the fact that semiconductor supplies are starting to get, if you will, open up so that they're able to bring production back to normal is good news. And that means that more workers are on the line, factory production is not being interrupted, and so on. And in some cases, manufacturers are running overtime to make up for inventories that were severely depleted. At the worst of the pandemic, we saw inventories down to about 1 million on dealer lots across the United States. That's barely a third of what the normal is. Now it's pretty close to normal, and the manufacturers again are trying to do overtime where possible to try to build up the inventories.
All right, we will watch what happens with this, and I imagine we'll have you back to discuss in the future. Paul Eisenstein with the DetroitBureau.com. Thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.